everyone, this is Sherry, and this is day 5 of the 7-day Creativity Jumpstart, and today we're talking about connecting to your creative self. Now, this may sound pretty obvious or even a little bit easier than what it actually is, but it's a little bit more difficult than you think. Think of, I might be dating myself, but anyone who remembers the never-ending story, think of Atreyu and that point where he had to go up to the mirror and the people actually died from looking at their true selves. Nothing so dramatic here, but you may in fact be killing your creative self just because you are in fact not listening to it, but rather telling it what it should be doing and what it should be. And in doing so, you are actually, instead of encouraging it or promoting it, you are in fact shutting it down. So that's something to be concerned about. So today what we are really looking at is looking at what your creative self is, and how to approach it. And the main thing how to approach it is to approach it without your inner critic in tow. And this is actually, of course, much more difficult than we really appreciate. It always is something of a challenge when you think about, we have all these expectations. I mean, myself, I'm a writer, and so I'll use this examples coming from a writer's perspective. But the button chair is not very romantic. It's not what we think about when we think of creative. For years, I went about going with, well, you know what? I need to be hit with inspiration. When the inspiration hits, I need to sit down and then I can write and I'll channel this beautiful thing that will probably only need 2 drafts tops, probably not even 2 drafts. The first flowing out, because that's what being a creative writer really is. It's not. And I know it's beautiful and it's romantic and it's what we really want to see and hear, but it's not true. The fact of the matter is, button chair is often one of the better ways to hit your creative self. I think it was Neil Gaiman who had said that he writes every day, or maybe not every day. During his writing period, he writes whether it's something he wants to do or not. And if he feels crappy, or if he feels good, if he feels like the writing's crappy, or the writing feels good, it does not matter. The man sits down and he writes during his writing time period. And what he finds out is that what he thinks is often crap is often just as good as on his good days. The point is that he showed up, he did it, and it came out. So yes, again, you need to find out what your creative wants. Does she want to do this as a hobby? Does your creative want to do this as a profession? But no matter what your creative wants, you need to approach it like a skittish child. I don't know. Anyway, let's see if I can't edit that part out. Editing. Yes, but the point is, it should be fun. And I think if you give yourself the permission to be fun, it'll work. So again, you're trying to give yourself this perfect time, this perfect place, and let the expectations drop. Try to go into it as what you really want as opposed to what you feel you should want. And I think that's also something that people often forget, is that we often think we go into a creative practice, again, we want the candles, we want the yoga mat in the corner, or we want everything to be perfect. We said about this in previous videos, and it's often just not true. That's not to say we can't eventually get there, but to start off, maybe we should try just a candle, or we can try, you know what, I've got 10 minutes, it doesn't matter, at least I've written something, or I've created something, or every day, just something small. Find out what your creative wants, and think about Cant versus Wont. That's the last thing I'll leave you with today, before you go on to look at the workbook and work on the questions there. But the big thing to think about is, what does my creative want, and can I give it to them? Or is it a case of I can't or I won't? And these are 2 very important things. And like I said before, the can't is it's actually physically or emotionally impossible. And there are very few things that are actually impossible to do in this case. It might be a case that you're making other decisions so that you won't do it, but that's completely different than can't do it. I can't afford it. Well, again, why? Where are your decisions? What are you choosing to spend your money on as opposed to something your creative artist needs? Or even in a case of, in my case, when it comes with the kids, I can't do it because of the kids. No, I can do it because of the kids. If you've seen from previous videos, sometimes Kai's in the background, but it's a case of often I won't do it because I feel embarrassed about the quality of the kid being in the background. Again, or even with these right now, I really don't want to let this one out today. It's my first one in a couple weeks again. I want to try to get them all done today and out, so they're ready to go. And I'm forcing myself to do this because, again, it's not that I can't do it, it's that I won't do it. And now I'm doing it. So take my own advice. try to find out what it is that your creative wants, connect with them, see what they need, and work with it from there. Okay, bye until tomorrow.